Washington, touchdown!
NFL Game Day morning, Thanksgiving Day at 10 on NFL Network.
Hey, feeling good. Like
my emotional support dog. TCP. I can't see, Rich.
Warner, back to throw, under pressure, throws the end zone, touchdown, Rams.
There goes our Emmy.
Oh, my gosh. Doug Peterson arriving for work today in rainy Cleveland. Boy, do his Eagles need a W, sitting there at 3-5-1 in the NFC East. 10 games into his first season with somebody other than the Patriots. Tom Brady sits a half game out of first place in his new digs, but still figuring out a way to consistently line up the scoreboard with perhaps the most talented cast of teammates he's ever had, including, once again, Gronk. So as Brady gets set to host the franchise he beat for his first ever Super Bowl ring in the stadium where he hopes to win his 7th, we sent a teammate of his from that first championship team to check the figurative temperature on TB12. Here now, Willie McGinnis one-on-one with the man he first met 20 years ago as a kid named Tommy.
What's up, big fella?
What's up, brother? You looking slim and trim? How you feeling?
Shaved up. Got a lot of vitamin D lately, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Hey, look, we loaded. Greatest of all time, and they know it. What we go through.
21 years in, bro. Did you ever think that you would still be playing at a high level, to say the least?
You'll never see another one like this one.
Everything's just kind of been a progression. You know, I think when I was in high school, I was like, you know, I'm going to play college football.
Touchdown, Michigan!
After a few years in college, I was like, yeah, of course I'm going to play pro football. And then I was like, of course I'm going to be a starting quarterback someday, you know? When I reflect back and think how it's all played out, I'm just grateful to everybody who has supported me. You know, I'm just a very, very blessed guy.
You're the greatest of all time. We're here. You're the greatest, and you're the greatest.
Belichick, Bruce Arians, polar opposites. How's that been?
Working with BA has been really great for me in a very different way. You know, he's very tough on you when things aren't the way that they need to be.
We had a miscommunication between he and Mike. Mike read it right, and the other one was a screen pass with an outlet called, and it was a pick six. Bad decision.
There's nothing about me or my game that's infallible, you know. I'm a player like everybody else, so I'm trying to be coached, and I think the team has very high expectations for me, and when I don't meet those, he should be pissed at me, you know. That's just rightfully so, and there's probably nobody more pissed than myself, but when you hear it from your coach, too, you know, it does motivate you.
I've looked back in the past, and I was like, man, he's been around some really talented position groups. But now, do you look at the roster and be like, there's no way we shouldn't win every single football game?
Well, I think that's kind of the easy way out, to be honest. Just because you think, oh, we're talented, we've all had production, let's just roll our helmets out there and we're going to win. I think that's actually not the case. Mike's a spectacular player. Chris is a spectacular player. Antonio's a spectacular player. But it doesn't mean, okay, great, you should go out and just figure things out. That's not the way football works. It's too difficult.
Brady slings it to Rob Gronkowski.
You've always been about your teammates. One of your teammates, Gronk, thought it was important to come out of retirement because he wanted to play with you. He's starting to seem like he's starting to get back into the Gronk of old.
Brady lobs one downfield, caught ball by Gronkowski.
After he caught that seam last week and then ran it down to the 5-yard line, when he starts strutting on the field, you know he's feeling really good. He's a beast. His ability has been unmatched.
You mentioned Antonio Brown. You guys have a special relationship outside of just football. How important was it to get him on the football team?
I watched Antonio play for a long time and thought he was a spectacular player. You know, I think anytime you meet different people in your life and you think that you can be a mentor in some way, you know, that's something that I've always enjoyed as quarterback. Because I am older than basically everybody at this point. So, I've had a lot of guys that are a lot younger that are going through circumstances that I went through when I was their age too. And when I was young, I had guys like you. I had Teddy. I had Drew Bledsoe. So when I look back on my career, it's going to be about the relationships I have. That's a big part of the reason why I still play football.
I appreciate your time, brother, as always, man. I love you and the family, and keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Same here, man. Great seeing you.
Verizon iPhone 12 Pro with 5G meets Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband. 5G just got real.
Okay, people, it's time to start zeroing in on the Steelers offense right now. Part of the reason why there's 0 under the L column for Pittsburgh, which has provided Big Ben, since coming off of campus at Miami of Ohio, quite a bit of pass catchers.
The emergence of a superstar is happening week in, week out. These weapons, it's outstanding what they've done.
Everybody come and get it. There's enough to go around.
That's Eric Ebron over a man. Crazy. Touchdown over the middle. Deontay Johnson. The defender had no chance. Juju Smith-Schuster, Hines Ward type of player, can do everything. That is Chase Claypool. Mapletron does it again. Let's go.
There's enough to go around.
All right, that's how we bring it to our home school edition of Football 101. And Irv, I love watching these young receivers of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the more I watch them, and the more I watch them work with Big Ben Roethlisberger, the more I start to see some of those talented old weapons and great players that we've seen in Steeler uniforms before. And, let me show you what I'm talking about. AB and Big Ben had this great rapport and feel for the game. Look at Deontay Johnson up here at the top, and his feel. He's got a double move here. Oh, now he's going to just settle it down a little bit and make room for Big Ben to make a throw. All right, now we got Juju. Watch him as he runs this route. Watch him turn his head here, and now he sees the defense, and he feels it, very much like the old Hines Ward did in a Pittsburgh Steeler uniform. Okay, we got the skinny post backside by their tight end. Heath Miller made that famous. Now we got Eric Ebron, the timing right there with Big Ben. You see it. Let it go before he even turns his head. And then Chase Claypool, maybe the most talented of all of them. Watch this sweet, smooth, double move. Do-do. Right there. Looks a little bit like Santonio Holmes, maybe a little bit bigger or more athletic. So I ask you, Irv, can this group, I know they're young, they're not as established yet, can this group be in the same category as some of those greats in Steeler uniforms?
Man, Kurt, I love how you did that, man, and I think you're absolutely right, especially when we're talking about guys like Juju Smith-Schuster and Hines Ward. I'm talking about the comparison rings so true on the football field. You see Hines Ward right here. Look at that. That's a bad man right there. I love that kid right there. And I do really love this kid right here. I'm talking about, yes, they have similar football attributes, but they have similar personalities and characteristics where everybody on the team loves them, everybody on the team rallies around them, and they are the great support for everybody on that team, Kurt. So when I see it, I say, oh, wow, I love this comparison. The Deontay Johnson, he does have some of that understanding that AB has and some of that quick foot stuff that AB has to beat you in the open field.
Yeah, maybe the big question is how long does Big Ben stay around to see if this group can become that special? Now, Irv, we're talking about the Steelers, and now I'm supposed to toss it to pick six. No. That is bad memories for me. Steelers and pick six. Yes. Rich, Cynthia, take it away.
You know what, Kurt? I appreciate you talking about the elephant in the room instead of me. I really appreciate that. It is time for Cynthia Freeland to give us 6 picks about who's going to win in Week 11, starting with this game, Steelers versus the Jaguars.
Well, I'm just trying not to underwhelm anyone here. But you could totally take the Hines Ward, a.k.a. Juju Smith-Schuster. But I want to point out, in this monstrous win, you also want to consider James Conner, who has somewhat underperformed in terms of fantasy value this year. But with 70 rush yards, a rushing touchdown, and 2 receptions for 11 yards, that makes him running back 6 this week. So I think this is the kind of start to the end of James Conner.
Okay, so let's talk about the Texans and the Patriots and look at this result. What do we have here?
I'm going to have to block my mentions because Patriots Nation is very loud and in charge, but I have a 1-point Texans win in this one. Why? Because of Deshaun Watson. He's so dynamic, and against this Patriots defense, even though they are healthier, I still have 279 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 34 rush yards.
Romeo.
I think Kay talked about a revenge game for a certain receiver, and I'm all over that.
Okay, so that'll be Brandon Cooks going against his old team and Romeo Crennel coaching against Belichick. You've got the Ravens taking this rematch against the Titans.
Yeah, a kind of close margin, just 1 field goal difference in this one. Why? Because